The original. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Eminent Sports Broadcasting, live in the building. My co-host.
The boy Los in the building.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're here to talk about Canelo Alvarez. The boy got options.
Oh, he got options, all right.
Boy, does he have options. Even though he got a fight that's already lined up, there's a lot of people calling him out.
Got 3 fights lined up.
He got 3 fights lined up?
3. Possibly 4.
Speak on it, my brother.
So we know he got Charlo lined up, right? And
Yeah.
you know, he got the storyline. Beats up little bro, big bro comes to say the day. So Jermall Charlo in the second fight. We all know Benavidez in the third fight. Or possibly Crawford. Maybe he signs a 1-fight extension and fights Crawford. Who knows?
So you're saying he got Little Charlo first.
Little Charlo first.
Which in retrospect is Big Charlo.
Big Charlo.
And then he got Big Charlo next.
Big Little Charlo.
Which in retrospect is Little Charlo. No disrespect. We just speaking on resume and what we've been seeing displayed in the ring.
And how they stand on it.
And then you say he should close it out with Benavidez last?
Definitely.
But that don't seem like that's the way it's going right now. A lot of people are saying that, you know what I mean, he should be fighting Crawford after he dismantles Charlo, which a lot of people are selling Charlo short.
Well, with the news that just came out yesterday, 2 days ago, with Earl activating the mandatory rematch, I don't think that's going to be lined up next because Crawford and Earl going to fight next.
Yeah, but Crawford and Earl fighting in probably by December, right? I think the contract stipulated that they should probably be fighting by the end of the year, but knowing, you know what I mean, Spence's condition and his team, they're going to probably try to push it back a little bit more, right? January, February type shit.
Possibly. But we know the 2 months for sure that Canelo fight in May or September. And then if he could squeeze in a touch up at the end of the year, usually around December or something, he'll do that.
You know, more
December, January. But we know for sure he fights May and September.
Okay.
So he don't move off them dates.
Yeah. Well, in the graphic, as y'all can see, these are a lot of the fights that are being talked about. You know what I'm saying? Of course, he has a fight with undisputed champion at 154, Jermell Charlo. That's right now. That's the fight that's going to be popping off in September. You got Benavidez and you got Demetrius Andrade fighting each other. That date hasn't been specified. Location has not been specified as of yet. We're waiting on that announcement. And then a lot of people are saying that he's going to possibly be fighting Jermall, which I'm not a fan of that fight, to be honest with you, man. I feel like Jermall has been very stagnant in the ring.
Well, that's why they're trying to cut you over. That's why they're trying to give him a little get back fight with Daniel Jacobs, which the fight that he should be fighting is Caleb Plant. But I get it. Caleb Plant been active, fighting the best of the best, and he been at home.
That's the fight that makes the most sense, right?
Yeah, but I get it. He don't want to go straight back. That's a hard fight to go straight back into. Everybody can say what they want about Caleb, but the boy can fight.
Yeah,
He's been active. He got a real effective style, you know. And when you ain't been fighting and you got to jump in there with a slick boxer puncher, you know, that could cause some problems, man. Big Charlo got to get his timing back. He got to get used to getting hit again. You got to get his groove back.
So you're going to get the
time. Jacobs, whoever hasn't fought in a while, you know what I mean? Not in his prime no more. It's probably the best bet for him. Got a name. Got a little bad blood. You know what I mean? When Jacobs checked him backstage. We all remember that. You know what I mean? That was the first signs. That was the first signs of the chink in Big Charlo's heart. That man was talking shit.
But
As soon as Danny pulled up on him, he got quiet as a mouse.
But that fight is like a little bit overdue, man. You don't think so?
Yeah, but who else you gonna fight?
No, it's like when I heard the rumor that was gonna be Jermall's next fight, I applauded that. Other than the Caleb fight, that's the only fight that makes sense, right?
I mean, yes.
Unless it's gonna be a unification with Arizlan Lara at 160, but you trying to move this man up to 168.
Yeah, but you know he been the Cholo's been scared of Lara from back in the day.
Why? Because of the boxing skills?
Yeah, and from the ass whippings they used to get back in the day when they used to spar.
Allegedly. Huh?
Allegedly. But hey, I remember when they used to ask Lara, would he fight the Charlos? And he used to say, hell yeah, fight the Charlos.
Yeah.
When they used to ask the Charlos would they fight Lara, they were a little quiet.
Oh, we got other things to do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now, hey, listen.
So, but now be the time. You know what I mean?
But there's two people on this graphic I don't want to see Canelo Alvarez fight. You know what I mean? Because he the linchpin in this scenario, right? Mm-hmm. He's the fucking big dog. He's the cash cow. So everybody in this graphic, 5 motherfuckers in this graphic other than Canelo, and they all want to fight him, right?
Yep.
The 2 fights I don't want to see is the Crawford and the Jermall fight. The reason why is because why are we doing so much to prolong the Benavidez fight?
They really not, though. You know what I mean? We know Benavidez wanted, of course, but who doesn't want the Canelo fight? That's the big money fight. So everybody, of course, they want it, but you gotta admit, some fights gotta be marinated and built up. And the way Benavidez see it is, bro, what is Benavidez, 25, 26?
He's young.
Young. He ain't tripping. He only getting better. And Canelo, you know what I mean? He's still young, but he got a lot of wear and tear. He got a lot of fights, and a lot of big fights. We know he ain't trying to fight till he's 40. He got a couple more fights in him. So
yeah, but why is it fair for Benavidez to be in Canelo Alvarez's weight class, and he's been his mandatory for multiple years, and before Crawford fought Spence, that was a fight that everybody wanted to see Canelo fight. So why is it cool for us to continuously prolong this fight that is the natural fight to be made?
It ain't prolonging. I mean, it happens. Terrence Crawford was in Errol Spence weight class for 10 fights before he got the fight with Earl.
Yeah, but he was not with the promotional company.
But we don't want to hear that.
No, but that's reality, man. Look right now with which we're gonna have a conversation about later. Look at the Shakur Stevenson and Frank Martin situation. They couldn't come to terms. That's why it's going to a purse bid. There's real dissension between these promotional companies and these networks.
That could have happened for that could have happened for Earl and Terrence. That could have happened for Canelo and Benavidez. But everything is timing. You gotta keep in mind. You like to tell me, bro, it's a business. So, like I said, we know Canelo ain't trying to fight forever, right?
Okay.
So even though he gonna get 30, 40.
So you want to give him 50? You want to throw some cherries his way? I'm not saying these guys are cherries.
These guys aren't cherries.
These guys are not cherries, but okay.
He's trying to maximize the business.
Let me give me a real talk. Give me real talk right now. On this graphic, who's Canelo's hardest competition in this graphic?
Terrence Crawford.
You say Terrence Crawford is his hardest challenge?
Yes.
Let me put you on camera when you say that. You're telling me Crawford is in this graphic gentleman that is being displayed in this graphic?
Terrence Crawford.
Okay.
He's got the best skills. He's the best boxer. Skills
I
pay the bills.
I would
And he won't be there. It won't be that easy. Size don't win fights all the time. It's a factor. But when you got somebody like Terrence Crawford with the skills,
so Benavidez and Crawford, in my opinion, is Benavidez.
Wait, my bad. I didn't see.
You didn't see Benavidez right there?
Nah, your mic was covering his head. But still, okay, you know why? You know why? Look, listen.
No, hold up. You can't if you can't see the graphic well, right?
Okay, no. Even with Benavidez,
you got Jermall Charlo, David Benavidez, Terrence Crawford, Jermell Charlo, and Demetrius Andrade in this graphic. Who's the hardest competition for Canelo to fight in this graphic?
Terrence Crawford. I'm gonna tell you why. Tell me. Out of all those fighters right there, Bud is the most skilled, the fastest, right?
Yeah.
And has the most championship experience out of all those guys. All those play a factor. You can't hit what you can't. You can't hurt what you can't hit. And Terrence is faster than them. He'll be able to hit him, get in and get out, just like he did Earl. Get in and get out. Touch him up, be able to counter him. Be too fast, bro. You know what I mean? He'll be too good. Got the skills, guy. Canelo will try to bang his body, bang this and that, but we see what's Canelo's kryptonite. Bivol, what Bivol do? Was in and out on him, combinations.
But Bivol is 175 pounds.
All right, but check this out. Bivol was able, his styles, bro, the size don't matter. Because if that was the case, Kovalev and these other bigger dudes would have gained problems. That's not it. It's the skills. You know what I mean? And that's what Bivol was able to do. Bivol ain't the greatest fighter, but he had the proper style and he had the skill set. He beat Canelo on that night. And Terrence Crawford got that skill set. Terrence Crawford ain't gonna go in there chest to chest and try to slug it out with Canelo. No. That boy gonna move on him. You gonna touch him, boom, land his shots, get out. Like Canelo, you know what I mean? Throw some, miss some. And I ain't saying he'll win, but I'm saying he the hardest fight out of all of them. Benavidez ain't ready for that stage like that. You saw what Caleb was doing to him in the first 6 rounds. Caleb was touching him. He was boxing him. Caleb was doing good work that fight.
Okay.
Was he not?
Yes, he was.
Everybody remembers what happens towards the end, but Caleb gave him a good fight. That's why Benavidez showed that boy so much respect after the fight. Because he know Caleb was doing work. Benavidez had to, you know what I mean, go in his bag. He had to dig deep to win that fight. That wasn't no easy fight. You know? Caleb was doing work.
All right, back to reality now.
Back to reality.
You heard a lot of.
You don't want to hear after the Arrow fight. You don't want to hear nothing about Terrence.
All right, no. I'm not trying to say I don't want to hear nothing about Terrence, but listen, let me get back to reality. My opinion, I think David Benavidez is by far, and even Andrade, because of size. I'm not saying that size
don't matter.
Is everything. If Terrence Crawford and fought right now, I'm putting my money on I'm putting my money on Andrade, man.
Oh my God.
He's too big. He's too strong. He's too fast.
No.
Boo got tremendous skills. And Terrence Crawford by far is the most talented boxer that we have in the sport, right? Him and Inoue, right? Mm-hmm. But I think a lot of people are sleeping on Boo skills, right? But the reason why I'm saying Benavidez, in my opinion, is the toughest challenge in this graphic that we have here with these fighters is because of the size, because of the hand speed, because of his durability, because of his lack of, losing stamina. As the fight goes on, David Benavidez is getting stronger. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why Canelo is trying to save this fight for last or even a re-up contract.
I'm gonna tell you this though.
Tell me.
Make a good point, and we saw it in their last fight. There's a thing about you get stronger when you're having success, right? But we saw what happens when a fighter isn't having success and he gets frustrated, right? I.e., Errol Spence, when Terrence is touching him at will, countering him, dropped him.
Early in the same fighter.
Okay. But we saw what happens to fighters, aggressive fighters, front foot fighters, when they're not having their success. They either do two things. They either try to come on stronger, right? Which ends up being to their detriment because now, especially when you find a sharpshooter counterpuncher like a Terrence, now he could just really just pick you off, catch you, use your momentum against you and hurt you. That's what was happening to Earl. Or you become gun shy and now you get teed off on. So it's either or. And none of them is going to result in a victory for you against a skillful fighter like a Terrence Crawford.
I think a lot of people are overvaluing Terrence Crawford's victory over Errol Spence Jr.
No way, man. All people been doing.
Errol Spence, since the car accident, has not been the same fighter. So before the fight, before the Errol Spence fight, Terrence Crawford stated that he would not move up to 168 to fight Canelo Alvarez. He defeats Errol Spence. Now he's getting a taste of that limelight, man. All that notoriety he's getting, all the, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's giving him his praises. He used to always say, people don't give me the credit that I deserve. And that's bullshit, man. The man has been the number one fighter in the sport of outlets for the past couple years, 3 years, 2 to 3 years.
Longer than that.
Even Roy Jones Jr., James Toney, Floyd Mayweather, countless names, bruh. Promoters, insiders, trainers, they all give Terrence Crawford his props, bruh. What notoriety was he lacking, bruh? What notoriety was he lacking, bro? What acknowledgement, what praise was he not receiving from the boxing audience?
Well, ESPN was praising him. A lot of people was trying to blackball him, man, for PBC fighters, man. You know, people love PBC, man. Like you.
I mean, people love boxing, man.
People love boxing, but a lot of people love PBC. Okay, but was hating on him for being on top,
for the most part, PBC has been carrying the sport in America for multiple years.
PBC has the fighters that we like.
PBC has the fighters that we like, but they put on the fights that we want. Sometimes they take a while, but
exactly,
they put on the big events, the big fights, the extra bells and whistles, the explosions, the big ass 150-foot monitors, 1,000-foot monitors. You know what I'm saying? The big extra ring walk, the ring card. You know, PBC don't got no ring card girls, right?
Oh no.
Nah, they don't got no ring card girls, man. You know what PBC tries to push forward in front of your face? Fighters, bro. And I'm not trying to praise. This ain't a PBC fucking stream right here. We're trying to state that they're putting on the fights that we want to see. Any mixture of these gentlemen fighting is fights that we would love to see. Okay? Why would David Benavidez? Benavidez has been very, very humble, in my opinion. I think a little too humble in this whole situation with this Terrence Crawford fighting Canelo.
Well, because that's how you get the fights with Canelo. Just learn. Talking shit to Canelo will not get you a fight. Ask Boo Boo Andre. That will not get you. Canelo will say, F you. I'm not fighting you, nigga.
Yeah, but I'm not saying talk shit to Canelo.
I'm not giving it to you. So the way to get in the ring with Canelo is being respectful because you stand on that. And you know what? All right, cool. fight makes sense right now, come on, let's do it. But if you try to talk shit to Canelo and do all that shit, nigga, you is not finna get in there. He will not give you. He ain't gonna bless you with that payday.
What about
he gonna get paid regardless?
What about Benavidez saying, "Hey, listen, Crawford, wait your turn. I'm the mandatory. I got next. If you want to become undisputed, come lift these belts off of me once I obtain them." What's wrong with David Benavidez? Why is David Benavidez so nonchalant in this situation? Has it already been explained to him that we're gonna put you on the back burner right now?
Let me ask you. All those fighters but one, right? Look at all those fighters on that screen. What do they all have in common, minus one fighter? They're all in their 30s. Benavidez the only one in his mid-20s. So he ain't pressed like them. He ain't. Bud and Andrade in their mid-30s. Canelo and both the Charlos, they're the same age. I think they're 32 or 33.
Yeah, they're the same age. I think
they're the same age.
I think Charlo's actually older than him, Jermell. Both, but they both. I think they're both is a year
young,
older.
mid-20s. He ain't tripping. He know the longer it goes, like Devin was saying to Lomo, or it's gonna get worse for you. I'm only gonna get better.
Yeah, but you don't think that you put yourself in that situation where Canelo achieves a little bit more greatness and he just says, you know what? I'm going to just hang it up. And you never get that fight, bro. You never get the opportunity to say that you are the greatest Mexican fighter of all time, because that's why I think Canelo Alvarez doesn't want to fight David Benavidez. In my opinion, he wants to be known as the greatest Mexican fighter of all time.
He won't be, though.
Why won't he be the greatest Mexican fighter of all time?
Canelo or Benavidez?
Canelo.
Yeah, Canelo will be.
But what I'm saying is, would he be the greatest Mexican fighter of all time if he takes an L or multiple L's to David Benavidez?
Yeah, because all the great Mexicans took L's. Chavez took hella L's.
But that argument is always going to be there. Let's say you're a Canelo fan. I'm a Benavidez fan. You say Canelo's the greatest Mexican fighter of all time. My guy beat your guy.
Yeah, but
can Earl ever say he's greater than Terrence Bud Crawford?
As you know, Mexicans, they don't even really respect Mexican Americans. So they're not gonna, they won't give that to Benavidez. And that Benavidez isn't even full Mexican. He's half. So they would never consider him the greatest Mexican of all time. No, they won't. They won't. They like that. They don't even like, if it's a Mexican American versus a Mexican, they rooting for the Mexican. They ain't rooting for the Mexican American. That's another conversation. I understand what you're saying, but Canelo, I don't think Benavidez is on. He wants to fight, but he's not gonna. I don't think he's losing sleep over it. He's getting paid a lot of money, been making a lot of money, still got a lot more money to make. You know, and the longest he goes being undefeated, stopping these dudes, he's straight. He's good. He got fights that he can make. You know what I mean? He got Morrell, who's around the same age as him. You know what I mean? You got Boo Boo, who wants to fight. You got Big Charlo, who I don't know if he wants to fight. You know? He got some fights that he can make, that could do some things. Maybe get him on gear. Or those are fights for him to make. But I think if he gets the Canelo fight, it'll be on Canelo's last fight. Or maybe they throw in the option if somehow Terrence Crawford steps into the fold and the series and they make that fight. But I think that's how it's gonna go. I think Uncle Al is saving his bets for last. You know? You have to maximize that Canelo train. So why put him in there with Canelo first? He beats Canelo. Let's just say he washes Canelo. Now you got to pick Canelo.
Then you have a new.
And he does the train don't got as much steam. You understand what I'm saying? No,
Yeah.
let Canelo go fight these dudes. Hopefully they're good fights, great fights. Beats them. You know what I mean? Benavidez goes, fights, let's say Andre, beats him. In outstanding fashion. Gets another fight. And now the third fight. Canelo's third fight on the contract versus now you really building that fight. If I'm PBC and Al Heyman, I'm putting them on the same card. Not this fight, but the next fight.
Put who on the same card?
Canelo. Let's just say Canelo beats Charlo and then fights Jermall Charlo, right? I'm putting Benavidez on that same card, co-main event, pay-per-view. And now the winner fights the winner. Think about how big that will be. Think about how much money that will make.
Yeah, but a Canelo fight is automatically coming with a rematch clause. He ain't gonna put that to the side. He's not putting that.
We ain't
side.
talking about rematch clause. We talking about building a fight. That's
okay,
how you build a fight.
You said when
all Mayweather's opponents all fought on his undercards.
No, but what I'm saying is you're saying that Canelo beats Jermell, and what's the next fight?
He fights Jermall.
I don't want to see that fight, bro.
All right, so let's say who else? Let's say he fights Terrence. Cool.
I'd rather see him fight Terrence than see him fight Jermall.
Let's say he fight Terrence.
You could put Jermall in a bunch of other different fights.
Let's say he fights Terrence.
Okay.
There won't be no rematch clause in that. Especially like Terrence
against Terrence.
Rematch clause for what? Say if he gets slaughtered.
Who's not gonna get a rematch? Canelo's getting a rematch clause. Because
but what?
I saw Terrence Crawford.
Canelo will get a one-side rematch clause.
I saw Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford respects and he recognizes who the A side is. I saw him tweet the other day. Biggest fight in boxing right now, and he put Canelo versus Crawford. I don't think that A side, B side is going to even be an issue. If Canelo demands a rematch clause, I think Crawford is going to gladly give it to him,
right,
without an issue.
Remember, and that's what I goes to the conversation we had on camera. Think about it. Canelo had a rematch clause with Bivol, right?
Yeah.
Has that fight happened?
No.
How many fights has he had since then?
1.
1 or 2?
Nah, he fought Ryder.
Okay, and he's about to fight Charlo.
And now he's about to fight Charlo.
Just because the rematch clause is there, don't mean it needs to happen.
Yeah,
what's going on? It's not automatic. So
yeah, but Canelo, you don't think Canelo would activate a rematch clause against a smaller guy?
If Canelo
didn't fight Bivol because he was out of his depth.
No, he didn't want to fight Bivol. He wanted to fight Bivol at 75. Bivol wanted to fight him at 68.
Nah.
Yes, Canelo wanted to activate it the next day.
Canelo didn't want to fight Bivol, man.
All right, that's another conversation.
But I think the money wasn't there.
No, the money was there.
The money wasn't there. Listen,
I heard it out of Eddie Hearn's mouth.
Eddie Hearn even admitted it that.
No, I heard it out of Eddie Hearn's mouth. I sent you the interview. Eddie Hearn said he wanted to fight him, but they couldn't agree to the terms.
The money wasn't there.
The money was there, but none of them wanted to give.
You think
Bivol wanted to fight at 68. He didn't want at 75 because he didn't feel like he got the credit for it. He wanted to fight him at 68. Canelo was like, no, I want to fight you at 75 because for the same reason, they both had basically the same reason. They don't want no excuse. Canelo wanted to run it back at 75, not at 68. Bivol wanted to run it at 68, not at 175. Neither side would budge. So
you don't think it's the fact that Matchroom possibly lost money on
how do you
those
lose
two
money?
fights?
You can't lose money with Canelo.
Of course you could lose fights with Canelo. You're paying Canelo. Okay, remember, Al was offering Canelo 40 plus, 50 plus million to fight his fighters before. He was offering him $50 million to fight David Benavidez. $40 plus $1 million to fight David Benavidez. I can't remember the exact figures. I have to pull it up. So Eddie had to basically match that. They didn't make, and then you giving Bivol $10 million.
They making that, bro.
The Zone didn't make that back in them pay-per-views, man.
Yes, they did.
They didn't make it back.
How many pay-per-views did they sell?
They sold like 500 something thousand pay-per-views.
At how much money?
$50, $60.
Okay, hold on.
Bro, don't even waste your time doing the math. We had these conversations before. They didn't make the money. They pulled a plug on the Canelo train because they weren't making the money. They didn't do the 800,000+ that PBC did with Caleb Plant, where they were able to recoup.
You got to keep in mind subscription money, advertisement money, gate money.
The rider fight. What did that do? You had to pay Canelo like $200. You had to pay Canelo like $20 million. How
many views,
minimum, right?
How many views
20,
you think
million?
they got in Mexico for that fight?
They make that money back, bro. They had to cut it. Look at the fights that the Zone. I'm not on the Zone. You know what I'm saying? I think the Zone is good for the health of the sport of boxing. You know what I'm saying? They're giving a lot of younger fighters a platform because you got overtime boxing. You got Jake Paul's MVP boxing on there. You got a couple other smaller outlets. You got, of course, Golden Boy, and you got Matchroom on that platform. But you see some of the fights that the Zone is they're putting on like flyweight and strawweight fighters, bruh. What? Main event.
I feel you.
I don't think you heard what main event. Chocolatito Gonzalez Estrada. Bam Bam Rodriguez. Bro. Like to make it seem like these dudes got so much skills and they're so great, bruh. Come on, bruh. Ain't nobody tuning in to watch those fights, bruh.
Yes, they are, bro.
Watch the last flyweight. Let me show you let's look at the Zone schedule real quick. Y'all bear with me real quick, you know what I'm saying? Let's look at their schedule real quick. Dooby. Exchanging glances. What you looking at right now?
Let's see how much this is Zone made off Canelo.
I told you they lost bread, Papa.
They ain't lost bread, bro.
I'm telling you they lost
So they
bread.
signed them initially that 11 fight deal, $365 million, right? And you said they lost bread, right?
Okay.
So then why come back if they lost bread, offer him another 3-fight deal for 150, 160 million?
Okay.
You're talking about billionaires here, bro. Billionaires aren't in the business of losing money.
I mean, well, they lost billions of dollars already under the Zone.
Al Heyman lost $1 billion. He don't.
Okay, but the Zone has lost billions of dollars, bro.
Al Heyman lost billions.
Look at this, bro. What is this? Fierro versus Maripia? What?
Yeah,
KSI and Tommy Fury.
And that's what I'm saying. So, people, check this out. That's how I know they be making bread.
What is this?
On the fight trash. You saw how much?
Okay, let me chop the schedule down real quick. Catterall and Linares.
Okay,
decent fight. What you say?
We don't care about that schedule, man. The Zone.
No, I just want to chop the schedule up real quick. Right now we in the flight.
If Canelo or Devin Haney ain't fighting, if they ain't fighting on the Zone, we ain't checking for them.
All right, hold up. Catterall and Linares, right? First of all, I thought Catterall lost the fight against what's his name? Josh Taylor. A lot of people, you know what I mean, say this and that, and they don't got a fucking scorecard. Catterall lost that fight. Anyway, he's fighting Linares, right? Decent fight. I'll pay attention to that. I don't really like Catterall's style. I think he moves around a lot without any real purpose to his movement. He just moves around a lot to avoid action, but he's not dishing out action at the same time, right? Or at least that's how he fought when he fought Josh Taylor. Cameron Taylor too. I'll peep that. That was a good little scrap between those two girls last time they fought. Wood Warrington. Wood is a good fighter. I think he's a good fighter. I don't think Warrington deserves another title fight. He hasn't done anything to deserve another title fight. I think you could have made better fights, but they're gonna be able to sell a lot of tickets in Liverpool or wherever the fuck that fight's gonna be. I'm not even gonna comment on this X Series shit because I'm not even gonna pretend like I give a fuck. Zepeda, who's a contender in the welterweight division, fighting Gesta. And I don't know who Gesta is.
Yeah, I'm watching.
That's a decent fight. We know who Zerto is. We know who Smith is. I think they're both fighting at 190, even though they're both supposed to be cruiserweights. Actually, they're supposed to be like what, light heavyweights. I think Zerto ate himself out of the division already. So he moved up from 168 to 175, and now he's moving out of 175 to cruiserweight. So I think they're fighting at 190. But I'll watch that fight. That's a decent scrap. We know those fighters. I'm not even going to pretend that guy. I give a fuck about that. Don't give a fuck about that. Don't give a fuck about that. That's the schedule that you have to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
And you telling me that they made money off Canelo. That's why they're giving us those fights.
Because that's their roster. And you have to give your fighters fights. That's their roster, bro. They ain't the PBC. They ain't got all these household names. That's their roster, bro. That's all they can do. They're doing the best they can do.
Yeah.
They most popular fighters are women fighters. So, this is what it is, man. So what we got on the next topic?
All right, so we basically probably gonna close this out. This topic, I mean, Canelo got choices, man. I mean, Crawford is knocking at his door. I don't like the fight because I think the natural progression is Canelo's gonna fight Jermell. He should naturally fight the winner of Andrade and Benavidez, which is gonna be a kick-ass fight. Either one could win. I like Benavidez in that fight, but Andre got the skills to pay the bills, like you like to say, right? With Crawford, right? I don't think Jermall should even be in the conversation because I think you're just basically giving Canelo a victory. Like you're giving not necessarily a victory, but you're giving him a fight that is not as challenging as the other fights. And I mean, who wants to see that, bro?
Who wants to see him fight Jermall?
Who wants to see him fight Jermall, bro?
Well, we all know Canelo never been known to go back to back hard fights. He just don't do that. He fights a hard fight, gets him a nice little soft touch.
But ain't no cherries over here, though.
Yeah, to Canelo, there's. I mean, Canelo on another level, bro. These boys ain't.
So he looking at Jermall as a cherry.
Yeah, he looking at Jermall as a cherry. You see, he ain't even acknowledge him. Went straight to Lil Charlo. You know what I mean? So I ain't fighting that bum. Excuse my, no disrespect. You know what I mean? I'm speaking for Canelo. He said, nah, man, I don't want to fight him. Give me the undisputed champ, man. Let's make that fight. Allegedly, we all assume that Canelo wins. What if Charlo wins? Then what's the fight? Then what's the next fight?
That's what I was.
Then what's the next fight?
That's what I neglected
the next
to say,
fight
man.
It's
gonna be Charlo and Canelo because it's gonna be a rematch.
Nah, man.
If Charlo wins, there's gonna be a rematch.
No, I think. See, I don't see it that way.
You think if Jermell
Charlo wins,
okay.
Charlo wins. The next fight is Charlo versus Terrence. Storyline already built, and then that's when everybody may get what they want. Benavidez versus Canelo. Then that's when you see that fight. Because at that point, if Canelo loses to Charlo, he's gonna look at it like, man, I got too much money for this shit. Come on, man. Al, let's go. One more, man. Cash out. Let's go. Let's go, man. I ain't here for a good time. You know what I mean? I ain't here for a long time. I'm here for a good time, man. Let's go. Let's make this money. Fight this fight. If I win, great. If I lose, I'm out for real, for real. So, and you gotta keep in mind, like, if Charlo beats him, Canelo is what, 2-2 his last 4 fights, or
Nah.
1-2 his last 3 fights.
No, it would be 3-1 because he only lost to.
Talking about his last 3. If he fights Canelo,
and
fights
loses,
Charlo and loses, he's 1-2 in his last 3 fights. Right? Because you said he fought invole, and he fought Ryder.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. If he loses.
So 1-2. You're looking at 1-2 your last 3 fights. So, all right, cool. Come on. Give me Benavidez. Let me fight him. Right? If he lose, now he 1-3 his last 4 fights. It's time to go. You know what I mean? It's time to go. If he beat him, great. He can go.
Yeah.
You feel me? He could try to get that Bivol fight one more time just to get that back. You know? But I think he goes. You know what I mean? But I think that's how it goes. Now you do Terrence and Jermell. You do Charlo and Benavidez.
Ladies and gentlemen, Eminent Sports Broadcasting signing out. Thank you for giving us your time. We greatly appreciate it.
Y'all do us a favor, man. Like, subscribe, share. Y'all like what y'all hearing, man. Share it with your friends. Anybody you know who like boxing?
Yeah, do that.
Share it with them, man. Let them know, man. We giving them that good boxing heat, man. Up-to-date content. Giving y'all the real on this boxing, man.
Peace.
One. Yeah, bro.